my name is Julie.
My name is James.
And my name is Anthony.
And we are presenting on Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise started in 1957 by Jack Taylor in St. Louis, and it was originally named Executive Leasing Company. It was renamed in 1969 by Taylor after an aircraft carrier called Enterprise. They're the largest rental car company in the United States, and they specialize in the local markets. We consider Enterprise to be a broad differentiator, which means that they try to set themselves apart in the industry, but they also want to market to the large mass market. Their motto is take care of your customers and employees first, and the profits will follow. Their culture is built around people and travel. They're a car rental industry, but they also focus on their people, which is what they feel like sets them apart from their competitors. They have their Enterprise Plus program, which has 4 different tiers: the Plus, Silver, Gold, and the Platinum. And they also have sponsorships with a lot of sports teams that helps with the localization in the communities. For Enterprise Porter's 5 forces, we have the bargaining power of suppliers, which we consider to be medium due to the customer demand, but they also have partnerships. The bargaining power of buyers is low because of the few options with their competitors and high switching costs. Threat of substitutes is high because the large players in the market, they are substitutable. The threat of entry is low due to the saturated market, and they already have established customers. And their rivals are high. They don't have many competitors, but the competitors that they do have are really large in the market.
Next, we want to highlight on the driving forces, which are the external conditions that drive change within the industry. Beginning with the consumers and people's need to travel using motor vehicles, that's going to always be consistent in pushing the industry, whether people need to use cars or rent cars, whether they want to use their car or need a car. The lower cost of flying versus driving is another driving force. Customers' desire need for a rental vehicle would be another one of our driving forces, as well as society moving towards green cars, the hybrid vehicles. We've seen much more of that environmental friendly, health conscious atmosphere in our world, and it's only growing and becoming more of a dynamic in both eating and as well as travel. The key success factors that we highlight are that excellent customer service in any business, but especially in this business, is necessary for attracting clients and maintaining clients. Enterprise needs to have reliable and quality vehicles. And when renting a car, people don't want to have car troubles. You don't want to stop on the side of the road. They want to be able to have a comfortable vehicle for all of their customers. They establishing storefronts in good locations. Tourist attractions, airports, high traffic areas is definitely a need and a focus for just driving that success, as well as being distinguishable amongst the competitors. That's just a name. That's just something they want to be able to do. You want people to know your business and know who you are. Enterprise has done very well with the whole slogan of Enterprise will pick you up.
Okay, this next screen you see is our SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I'll talk about the strengths and opportunities, and my partner over here will talk about the weaknesses and threats. So to start off with, we got in this first column is the strengths. And if you look at the top, the strengths, we got top brand recognition by some major industry players and business magazines. We have the variety of vehicles that are choices that are offered nationwide. We find that's another good strength. The new exotic convertible car line, which is something just recently that I actually got a message in Yahoo Finance that popped up and told me about the exotic car line that's offered, but it's only in a couple locations. The placing a high importance on the community is Enterprise's strong point, because that's what they try to be. You know, for the community, we'll pick you up. And then the last one is goes in hand in hand with the customer service and customer pickup location. That if they need you there, they'll come and get you.
And as far as weaknesses, one weaknesses we found are they privately owned. This just can inhibit growth and potential growth in the future. Is for being a privately owned company and not being able to allow investors to invest. Age restrictions on the driving. the age you have to be to rent a car with them. The maintenance cost and repairs is a concern, as well as the miscommunication of prices and products. That can be real troubling in your customer service needs. And then their gas policy.
The opportunities column, we got to start with the Going Green Hybrid Electric in all locations. And we say that because, yes, Enterprise offers that in their variety of fleet vehicles, but we recently had a conversation with one of the locations here in Murfreesboro, and actually I'll let James tell that part real quick because he had the phone interaction with them. So if you want to allow real quick what they told you on the phone.
They just didn't have the hybrid vehicles in all locations. It wasn't available on a lot. They did have access, but they only had access to one, and that's just something that should be an option that should be available much more and easily and readily. Yeah.
And so it brings us on to our next opportunity. Thanks, James. Which talks about the increasing presences at the airports. Obviously, when you do a little search online, you don't see much information on Enterprise. It's mainly most of the other competitors. Then we got the extending the loyalty program, which they already have a loyalty program intact, but maybe adding on a couple of additions may not be such a bad idea. Like maybe rent 4 days, you get 1 day free once a month or something. It couldn't hurt. Then you go on to Customer Appreciation Day, which we'll elaborate on later, and then the increased rates and decreased rental age. That's just an opportunity for them to maybe lower the rental age. We'll talk more about that later, but also increase the rates to kind of offset the risk.
And finally, for our threats, the fluctuating oil prices, just the cost of gas, could be a concern. Market saturation, mergers of their competitors, just joining together and grabbing more of that market. Their product is substitutable, as well as the car rental taxes and tax structure. It differs each state to state.
Okay, so now we got a simple analysis of financials. This isn't going to be geared towards the branch locations, but mainly the company as a whole, Enterprise Holdings, your parent company. And basically what I was able to do is what I've comprised here is come up with a bar graph of 3 companies, the two competitors against, 2 main competitors against Enterprise, Hertz and Avis, which are publicly traded on the stock market. So I was able to get a hold of their financials, and I only use as much financials of Enterprise as the website was able to give me, which is doing a little bit of research. I was able to go back a couple of years and see what the annual revenues were for that year, for that fiscal year. And so what I did was I comprised all the information that I got, and I put them into this line graph. And as you can see, Enterprise in yellow right here is dominating at the top of the industry in revenue. I mean, they're just ridiculously killing it. And the other 2 competitors are struggling a little bit to keep up there. In orange we have Hertz, which is staying right around the median of the graph, and you have Avis, who's kind of trailing in the back. So yes, those 2 are publicly traded, but maybe the privately owned is a good opportunity right now, maybe something to address later as a whole. But obviously right here you can see why Forbes magazine is recognizing them as one of America's largest privately owned successful companies. And so this is a nice little simple chart, and do with it as you wish. Our next slide we'll come to is the managerial worry list. And these are 5 items that we've decided were of kind of concern, something to look at and something you can tailor amongst yourselves and maybe share with Enterprise Holdings, is just to see what their inputs and ideas are. And so the first one we come up with is miscommunication with customers. And miscommunication with customers. I was doing a research online the other night, and I came across a bunch of consumer reports for the company and for different locations. And one thing I'm finding was consistent. Enterprise is getting a lot of 1 stars out of 5, and mainly the problems were the employees were not being consistent with information and weren't consistently offering the same options at each location, and we're getting told one thing and seeing another thing, and we're getting told on the phone that this is how much they'll owe, and then when they get there the price is different. So maybe there's a barrier that's we feel is stopping Enterprise's concept of focus on the customer. Maybe it's stopping at the employee level and it's not going all the way through. So maybe we need to sit back and address, see what's going on, maybe look at each location and make sure your employees are doing, what they're supposed to be doing. The next one is the minimal presence of online advertising, and obviously, like I said before, you search online, you don't really see much for airplanes or for hotels. You want to get a whole combination. You don't really see much for enterprise when you do that. You start seeing Hertz, and you start seeing Budget, you start seeing some of these other competitors. So that's something kind of be concerned about, maybe up some marketing on the internet. The third one is the lack of customer appreciation, which it's just we don't feel they're doing enough to be part of the community as they're trying to be, and it would just a couple things we're going to offer you would help make that situation better. And then the limited hybrid options in the fleet of vehicles. Obviously, everything's going towards greener pastures and health-wise and environment-friendly, and of course fluctuating oil prices and gas, how much it costs. So more people are getting into the wanting to have better miles per gallon, and more vehicles are starting to come out nowadays. Most of the big companies are investing in hybrid vehicles. Well, we feel this is Enterprise isn't capitalizing enough on this. Hybrid vehicles is a lot better than an electric vehicle, and you get twice as much gas mileage as a standard vehicle with just gas. So that's a problem. We're not finding it's consistent, as James said earlier, with the location. They only had one, and it wasn't even at that location. The last managerial worry list is the strict age restriction. And I know it's something that's just it's been like that for years and years, but since you guys are branch managers and your locations are near each other and you try to focus more franchise-based style, we feel that a lot of the locations that are based around colleges, like Murfreesboro, you got MTSU, you got a lot of students. Out in Nashville, you got Nashville.
Plenty of schools.
Yeah, plenty of schools. You got Vanderbilt. You got all kinds of locations. Belmont. Yeah, you got prep schools. You got everything. You got public schools. But most of these places, these people aren't 25 years old, so you're automatically cutting your market that you're what do you want to look for? Your niche market that you're trying to hit to grow your business. So maybe lower it a little bit, and then think about different ways you can counteract that, maybe increasing rates. But this brings us to our last screen, which is the recommendation screen. So out of everything that we've talked about, we've come across 3 different recommendations. I'll talk about the first one. Julie will talk about the second one, and James will talk about the last one. So the first one, we have our Customer Appreciation Day. This will knock out 2 of those worry list items that we spoke about a few minutes ago. And basically, if you can't really see right here, so I'll elaborate on a little bit. We got food games, family events, and providing feedback opportunities. Essentially, what that means is it's just an idea for customer appreciation. You can go maybe once a Saturday. You can open up the enterprise to the community and bring in family and kids and parents and whatever you want. As many people as you can think of. Buy a bunch of hot dogs, and because hot dogs are low cost, so you can save money there, and have a cookout for the community, have games for the little kids, and have this time to interact with them and really throw out your presence and show them that, hey, Enterprise is here to do business. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else is doing that, so it's a good way to stand you above the rest, and it'll really show them that community value. And also, you can use this opportunity to get feedback from each of your clients in your area. Give them a little survey or something, ask them maybe 5 questions, just see areas you can improve on. Are you getting good customer service? Are you getting this? Are we communicating prices effectively? Yada, yada, just different areas to assess your own franchise business on, and that would help increase that aspect of your growth. All right.
Second, we have decrease the age limit and increase the cost for your younger customers. This will really help your revenues, especially with opening up a whole new market, a whole new clientele, younger college kids, always getting in wrecks, always needing new cars. This is also a chance for you to increase your prices for those customers, because we know it's a little bit more risky. But it's also an option for advertising. If you advertise that new option, you can advertise it online, you can do in airports, you can do in colleges, you can do anywhere where those younger clientele are. So we think that this would be a good recommendation for these new clienteles.
And in closing, we just simply stated we suggest you offer a larger selection of hybrid vehicles on each lot. Just have it being available on each lot versus not like in it said here there was only one vehicle available and it wasn't on the lot. Just have it available on each lot. These are our recommendations. My name is James. This is Julie.
And my
This
name is
is
Anthony.
And this is our presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.